That particular report is one that highlights the security situation in Nsukka, Enugu State, Southeast Nigeria. Incidentally, we have with us in the studio to talk a little more about that report Professor Barrister Florence Orabueze. She is a professor of English and Literary Studies at the university. I'm sure you must have seen her in that report as well. Good to have you. Good morning.
Thank you, and good morning, our viewers.
All right, you watched that report?
Yeah, I've watched it.
Did it capture what exactly is going on in the university, or there's more to it?
Well, I think any sensible and reasonable person will believe the students, because they are the people that are involved. They know the truth, that one of them was killed within the campus, that some of them are missing, and one of them was brought back just last week by somebody, I think Bamnishu, that's a human rights activist. It's there everywhere. The problem with this country is cover up. The problem with this country is conspiratorial silences and connivance. I don't know. The most important thing is for the people to know that something has happened. How can a parent bring his child to the university as a place for safety, and that child is missing, and later she was found with her body parts missing? I knew you had them, and the child is taken back to the parents and in body bags, and a parent will bring the child to the university, and the child is kidnapped. When we have a problem and we don't say we don't have a problem, we cover our problems, it will explode. And this is where we are in the university.
Okay, but within the university environment, how secured is it?
Well, you can see the security now. I don't blame the chief security officer and his men. Do they have what it takes to fight insecurity? What is security? Insecurity. Absence of safety. Presence of fear. It could be emotional. It could be physical. It could be psychological. Are we saying that there is safety there and a student is murdered there? Like I said before, the insecurity in the university is part of the insecurity in the nation and worldwide. But how do the university authority from 2019 to 2024 handle that insecurity? I've spoken it several times, and I'm speaking it again. If you want to keep that university secure, there must be the installation of CCTV cameras.
There's none at the moment?
There is none. If there is anything, how can somebody be there having those operations and the person is not caught?
Ma, you did mention that this is conspiratorial, and I personally took it out because you heard most of the students say that some of them actually attested to the fact that this is not the first time this is happening. And then again, you hear the PRO say, there's nothing happening. You know, it begs to wonder, what influences that? Is there a cabal responsible for this and is covering it up?
I'm not saying that the cabal are responsible for, or the cabal is responsible for ritual killing. But if you keep silent, if they keep silent, members keep silent, and they are denying the existence of what is obvious, then there is conspiratorial silence. You can't give defense to what is defenseless. Are the security men, are they equipped? Are they retrained? Are they enough? What about the environment? You can see what you captured there. Everywhere is filled with bush and rubbish. Are there also installation of even a solar system for them to have light? I've said it several times. But I thank God that in his infinite wisdom, I've told them that this 2024, that God will do a new thing in that university. And God has started that. He has brought a General Ike Nwachukwu, a diplomat, a military man, a former administrator, as the council chairman. And the people, other council members that are working with him are also very much experienced. A former senator, a distinguished lawyer, a distinguished civil servant, and a distinguished professor. So we are hopeful that it's no longer business as usual. Okay,
are there processes, because I'm trying to understand why the PRO will make the statement he made. Now, are there processes in place to uncover this this acts, this dark arts, you know, and are they transparent about it? I mean, security-wise.
You have said it all. Dark act. Do the people that are managing the university, do they feel that it's dark? That is a stain on the university? If it's not your child that is brought back in body bags and you are lamenting and in sorrow and in pains and in tears, you will not feel it. That is the problem with our system. Like I said, I don't know what they are doing, but I know that with General Ike Nwachukwu in place, he addressed us last week, either last week or 2 weeks ago. And there is hope that there will be security, because you have to patrol this place. This type of nonsense, you cannot see it in the law school. I'm a lawyer. They have security men that are well equipped. Young security men patrolling everywhere with guns. So you cannot mess up there. The greatest problem is that child was not found outside the university, but inside. If you have CCTV cameras, they will discover who committed that abominable act within the university. That is the question. So, Mafia. Somebody is crying. Somebody is in tears. Somebody has had a loss. Somebody is in sorrow. Somebody is in pains. So if it doesn't concern me, I can as well wave it off. And tomorrow the same thing will happen. For the past 5 years, that university has been in the news for negative things. And this is the highlight, the greatest mark there. Okay. But I can assure you that with the new council chairman and his members, the way he spoke to us, it's obvious he understood the situation on ground. It's no longer going to be business as usual. And very soon there will be selection of vice chancellors.
Ma'am, this is, I understand, is University of Nigeria. That's a national university, or it goes by a national name. Is there something that the federal government could do? Are there ways they could step in to help manage this crisis?
The federal government has already stepped in by appointing the council. And like I told you, the council is representing His Excellency, the visitor to the university, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But there should also be investigative panels. That is the problem with this country. When things happen, it doesn't concern me. Nobody wants to accept responsibility. That is the problem. Somebody, a child has died, even overseas, even one, you can see 3 children that were stabbed to death in Europe, in Britain. People are protesting. Here we cover up. You have seen it several days. You are in the news.
Yeah. Yes.
I've been watching them for just 3 children. But here, thousands will be killed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to us. The system continues.
Okay, in that report, you mentioned that the university has been taken over by mafias. I'm wondering what that really means. Secondly, you also mentioned that there have been times you have spoken for the students, and you have been threatened.
Of course.
Can you give us an example of the times that you've
Well, I've been speaking since 2019, but they didn't see the danger. Why I said that Mafia has taken over, you can watch it there. The students are saying one thing because they are the people that are affected. They are the people that live with insecurity. And the representatives of the university administration are saying another thing. Where do we go from there? Could you believe that the vice chancellor that just left in June came to the whole senate of the university and told them that he would deal with me?
Why?
Because I've been speaking. But look at it. I've been speaking. Look, the way you are running this university, you are endangering the lives of students and staff.
How was he running it?
I beg your pardon?
How was he running it? He said the way he was running it was endangering the lives of students.
Like I said, even in appointments, if somebody is not from your place, the person cannot be part of your administration.
Okay.
It's like if somebody is not from my church worshiping with me, the person cannot be in my administration. Even if it's obvious that the person you put in that position is a round peg in a square hole, it doesn't matter. He will be there until I finish. So even if the whole place is sinking, I don't bloody care. After all, my children are abroad. I live in a secure place. But what about our own children? The children of other people that are brought to you to keep. In Yoruba land, this type of thing cannot happen. They cannot keep silent. But see, everybody will keep silent. Either they are looking for one position or the other, or they don't want the vice chancellor to say that I'm his enemy. Then there is a gradual go and inspect that place. There is a gradual collapse of the system. And I say it without any apology, that the Igbo leaders, particularly our governors, particularly the governor of Enugu State, particularly, should look into the management of that university. The way that university has been reduced from 2019 to 2024, I'll call it a monument of shame for every Igbo person. Go there and inspect it. We live, we teach, we work, we sleep in rubbish bins. You can see there, go to Enugu campus as a sample, drive around there. Even the living quarters. Some of us went to the university when we were young. I entered the university. I got admission into the university. 1984, when I graduated from secondary school to the university. It was the pride of the Igbo man and woman, and the dream of the Igbo child and other Nigerians. And because of the parochial nature of admission, employment, before there were so many white people there. So many people from other ethnic nationalities. Are they there again? They're not there. And let me tell you, with what you are seeing here, with what the students have said, if nothing is done, do you think you can take your own child to that place? When you know that there is the fear of that child being kidnapped. When you know that there is the fear of that child being killed in the institution. That is the big question.
So, Ma, you did mention that before now, the former Vice Chancellor he appoints a square peg for a round hole. That means they put in incompetent people for a role. They might be competent in whatever field they were, but in the field they have been put in charge of, they are incompetent in it. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. You may be a professor with 1 million publications, 5 billion citations. What about managerial competence? That is the issue. What about leadership competence? Do they know how to formulate policies and implement policies? The strategies that they will use. That's what I mean. You may be professor in your field, but in terms of management, that is why I would suggest to the council and to the next university administration, which had also suggested to the man that left, that you need to give a kind of lectures, series of lectures to the people, bringing people from inside and outside. The children, the first year students, were they told what to do? That this, you give them guidance.
Okay.
For them to survive.
I'm actually surprised that, because even the PRO, while we interviewed him, said that there were cameras on campus. You said there was no cameras on campus.
I don't think there were cameras. If there were cameras, why didn't the cameras capture the people that took the guy? You heard what the student said.
Like, is it?
Maybe there were cameras within the administrative buildings, of course, to secure the vice chancellor and his group. But what about cameras in staff quarters, in hostels, in classrooms, even in private homes now? There are cameras.
Right.
So any activities are captured.
I also wanted to ask, what do you think the roles are for students? Because the Dean of Student Affairs mentioned that sometimes these students take certain uncalculated risks. Do you think the students also have a role to play with their own safety?
Yes, they have. Like he said, it starts from home. Parents, if you are sending your children to school, you should tell them some rules. The rules in your house, if you have any rules, should also apply in the universities. Some of them are too dissatisfied with what they have. They go with all these boys that are Yahoo plus or whatever they are. That's some of them are ritualists with their big cars. But the point is that when you come to the university, you also help to guide them, because they have left the protection of their parents. You continue to educate and re-educate them. You cannot stop. You call them at law school. That's what they were doing. That's why you don't hear anybody being kidnapped or being killed in the law school. I was at the law school for 1 year. And you could see, like I said, if that student was not killed there, there's no problem. Maybe killed outside the university. But it shows her being killed there and nobody is caught, and they're telling you that they're investigating, shows the absence of effective security. Reorganize the security. Allow the security officer, the chief security officer, to do his job. Equip them. Train them. Get people who can do the job very well. Then we can't be having this type of nonsense. But I believe that with General Ike there on the saddle, the general, I know that he told us that it will change. So we are hopeful that with the Igbo leaders looking into what is happening in the university, there will be a change. It can no longer be business as usual, because that place will collapse.
You mentioned nepotism as one of the things that deviled the last administration that left in June under the university's government. But I'm just wondering, what kind of reform? Because it's not peculiar to UNN per se. We see that nepotism across universities in the country. What kind of reform would you be suggesting to government as to forestalling this type of, mitigating this type of issues across universities?
The reform is that, let me tell you the truth. We have to be serious about this country and the educational system. If the government, there was a time they hinted it. People believe that we must be the people who will continue ruling this place. And they form a clique. And the government will allow the clique, maybe from one particular area. When this person goes, he will position his brother or sister.
At that level?
At that level.
Do the governors have any influence as to who takes over as vice chancellors?
Of course they do.
Because it's a federal university.
It's a federal university. The governors can still, that they are the chief security officers of the university. And they have security reports. If you're telling me the way I see Governor Mba is a very intelligent man, you can see how he's working. I'm surprised, I'm proud of him, that he's now rebuilding Presidential Hotel. If he's telling me that he doesn't have security report on University of Nigeria, I won't believe him. I would say that he's not. He has security report. So,
but are they supposed to have influence on what happens at the university? Because you mentioned that the governor should look into what's happening.
I said they can suggest to the president. They can suggest to the minister.
Is that a fair thing to do?
Well, it's fair if it has become that somebody will come here and do you know what it means for somebody to lose the child there? If you see that the system is not working, that's why I talk about connivance, conspiratorial silence. You know that this system is not working, that this system is down or about to collapse, and you know that is what I've been saying, and you keep silent. And that is the problem with Nigeria. That is the problem with Boko Haram. That is the problem with terrorism. That is the problem with banditry. The problem with militancy. We know that things are not working.
Wouldn't it amount to interference if the governor of a state interferes into a federal university?
I don't call it interference in the situation we find ourselves. If things are working, he doesn't need to be there. He doesn't need to look into it. Like I said, it's not only the governor of I said the other governors and leadership will land. And in Nigeria, the things are not working there.
Are you saying this specifically then, or you say all federal universities, wherever they are located, the governors should influence people who take vice chancellors?
Like I said, when you have a sick child, you cannot keep quiet. It's not my child. Let die. Let me tell you that if we have the type of debilitating situation we had from 2019 to 2024 in the University of Nsukka, very soon, for another 5 years, that university will be UNESCO World Site.
Okay,
and we said that there was a university. I said, and respect it. There is no university like that in the whole world.
Yes, your last thoughts. I want to have your last thoughts on what you're saying to the Ministry of Education and to our president and to the students. Just your last thoughts.
Well, my last thought is that for the federal government, it's not enough giving money to institutions without effective monitoring. You should monitor them. Some of our universities, colleges of education, polytechnics, they have become dream pipelines for people. Then for Federal Ministry of Education, you should also be on your toes to monitor the people. If they become a conduit pipes for people in the ministry to also make money, the system will collapse. For the students, my dear children, keep silent. Okay. The Yoruba people don't keep silent. If you keep silent, you continue to die. So if you say something, if you don't say something, you die. But be careful of who is your friend.
Thank you so much, Ma. We will continue with you on this. We will continue looking into this and hoping that a good result, would come out at the end of the day. We have some joining us by Zoom, Mr. Godwin, who is going to give us some update on what the outcome and what's happening in our country, Nigeria. We'll go for a break and we'll be right back.